During World War II, the battles were not only fought with guns and tanks, but also with ingenuity and deception. Among the lesser-known yet most extraordinary units of the war was a group of artists, sound engineers, and creative thinkers who tricked the enemy in ways you'd never imagine. This was the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, famously known as the Ghost Army. As the Allies pushed through Europe after D-Day, they needed more than brute force to outwit the Nazis. They needed deception, misdirection, and creativity. This is where the Ghost Army came in, a top-secret U.S. military unit dedicated to fooling the enemy through psychological warfare. Formed in 1944, the Ghost Army was unlike any other unit in the military. Made up of 1,100 soldiers, many of them artists, designers, engineers, and actors, their mission was not to fight, but to pretend to fight. Their weapons were not guns or bombs, but inflatable tanks, sound effects, and fake radio transmissions, all designed to create a convincing illusion of massive Allied forces. The mission of the Ghost Army was simple: confuse the Nazis. They created entire fake divisions of the U.S. Army, deploying inflatable vehicles that could be spotted by enemy planes and broadcasting phony radio transmissions to simulate troop movements. Through their elaborate deceptions, they would divert German forces away from real Allied operations, buying crucial time and strategic advantage for the real troops. One of the Ghost Army's first major tasks came before the Normandy invasion in 1944. In the months leading up to D-Day, the Ghost Army was part of Operation Fortitude, a complex deception designed to mislead the Germans about the true location of the Allied invasion. As part of this operation, the Ghost Army helped create the illusion that the Allied forces would land at Pas-de-Calais, far from the actual D-Day landing site in Normandy. They deployed fake units, sent out deceptive radio transmissions, and even used an actor to impersonate General Bernard Montgomery, all to convince the Germans that the invasion would come elsewhere. After D-Day, the Ghost Army was deployed on the front lines. In August 1944, during Operation Britney, the unit was tasked with simulating two entire divisions in the French countryside. By creating false signs of troop activity and establishing fake encampments, they diverted German forces away from actual Allied operations, allowing real divisions to push forward with minimal resistance. Ghost Army soldiers went so far as to stage elaborate scenes of daily military life, cooking fires, laundry lines, and soldiers casually walking around to convince enemy reconnaissance planes that the area was filled with troops. But it wasn't just visual deception that made the Ghost Army so effective, it was also their mastery of sound. Using cutting-edge technology for the time, they recorded sounds of tanks, trucks, and troops on the move, and then played these sounds through powerful speakers that could project the noise up to 15 miles away. By carefully coordinating the sound effects with their inflatable decoys, the Ghost Army could create the illusion of an army on the move, convincing the Germans that they were preparing for an attack in a completely different location from where the real assault would take place. One of the Ghost Army's most important tools was its radio operators, who mastered the art of spoofing, creating false radio chatter that mimicked the communications of real divisions. These operators would simulate entire battalions talking to each other, relaying fake orders and messages, all while the real divisions moved elsewhere undetected. The Nazis monitored these transmissions closely, but little did they know that the voices they were hearing were part of an elaborate charade. Every word was carefully planned to keep the Germans guessing. The Ghost Army's most successful mission came in March 1945 during Operation Viersen, when they created a diversion that helped the 9th Army cross the Rhine River. The unit simulated an entire division on the verge of attack, complete with inflatable tanks, fake artillery, sound effects, and radio transmissions. By fooling the Germans into thinking an attack was coming from the north, the Ghost Army diverted thousands of enemy troops away from the real crossing site. This allowed the Allied forces to successfully breach one of Germany's last lines of defense. The Ghost Army carried out more than 20 missions during World War II, saving thousands of lives through their deceptions. Yet their contributions were kept classified for decades, their bravery and creativity hidden in the shadows of history. Historian, the Ghost Army was one of the most unique and innovative units of World War II. Their work was a testament to the power of creativity and deception in warfare. It shows that battles aren't always won by firepower alone, but by the ability to outthink your enemy. Today, the Ghost Army's legacy lives on. In 2022, they were finally awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian honor in the United States, recognizing their incredible contributions to the war effort. The story of the Ghost Army is a reminder of how innovation and imagination can turn the tide of war. Their tactics may have been unconventional, but they played a vital role in defeating the Nazis. They didn't just save lives, they saved the world's cultural treasures, one deception at a time. Dedicated to the men of the Ghost Army whose courage and creativity helped win the war in ways never imagined.